The Call 7 investigators finding the pills in your medicine cabinet may not be what you think.
8 out of 10 of us opt to buy the generic versions of our prescription pills. Well, Call 7 investigator Kelly Raybon here now. And Kelly, you found those drugs aren't created equal.
They sure aren't. And generic medications save us $200 billion every year in the U.S. But they could cost you your health.
This is Mia.
Mia Flores will tell you it's a struggle being a teenage girl dealing with epilepsy.
I'm really tired tonight.
Her daily regimen of planning and pills.
First off is Lamictal.
A finely tuned process designed specifically for her.
It's just like lodged into my brain, take your medicine or else something bad will happen.
Something bad did happen after a routine prescription refill.
Her face was swollen, she had a lot of pain.
Kiku, Mia's mother, looked at her medication and realized
this is different than what she had before. So I called the pharmacy and then that's when they told me, actually, that's the generic.
We assume there's no real difference between generic and brand name pills, right? Our investigation found that's not necessarily true. The FDA requires generics use the same active ingredient, but they can use different inactive ingredients like fillers and binders, and those can change how the drug is released into your system.
You do not want this medicine. It is inert.
Dr. Russ Johnson, a psychiatrist, says he's been tracking problems with generic prescriptions for at least 8 years.
Just about everything in the psychiatric realm that's gone generic since 2006, we've had significant problems with.
He's seen patients stable for years suddenly struggle, never suspecting that a change to generic medication is the cause.
It can have tragic consequences all of a sudden if you've got something that's a life-saving medication that isn't working.
Some of the most commonly diagnosed health problems, depression, pain, insomnia, high blood pressure, also have the highest rate of complications with generic pills. Patients have reported headaches, nausea, allergic reactions, even seizures. But the most common sign that a generic med is the problem, it just doesn't feel like it's working.
Very often they'll think, okay, I need a new medication or I need the dosage adjusted. They don't think that there's something actually wrong with the pill.
Johnson says where the generic is manufactured can also be a clue.
Not only a matter of knowing what the person has, what their diagnosis is, but now we have to know where the pills are coming from. 90+% of the problem with generic drugs we've run into are manufactured by a handful of Indian pharmaceutical companies.
On top of that, insurance companies often refuse to pay for brand name drugs, pushing lower cost alternatives instead.
Right now the emphasis has been on cheap. And for the last 10 years, whether it's been AARP or Medicare or the insurance companies, pharmacies themselves are pushing cheap pills.
Companies don't even have to notify you when you're switched to a generic.
I don't think it's right that an insurance company can just change your drug without your knowledge.
They need to just really stop doing that because they could seriously hurt somebody.
It's a hard road being an advocate for your child, and it'd be nice to be able to trust that the powers that be are going to do what's right.
The FDA told us, quote, consumers can be assured that FDA-approved generic drug products have met the same rigid standards, but also admitted at times something unexpected is discovered about how a product works in the body after the drug is approved. Now, there could be more than a dozen generic manufacturers for just one drug. So how do you make sure that you're getting the one that's right for you? Well, we're digging into that tomorrow on 7 News at 6. I'm Call 7 investigator Kelly Raybon.